Hello, friends. Welcome back to another episode of Speaking Tips with Ravi. In today's episode, I would like to discuss how do you handle those conversations where all of a sudden you get stuck. Recently, a family member of mine asked me, how do you handle such situations? For instance, you are very familiar with your subject matter, the project, as well as other aspects of the corporate job. And while you are having this conversation, all of a sudden your mind goes blank. It has happened to me. Actually, it still happens. But I am better prepared today than, say, 5 years back or 10 years back. Another aspect or another difficulty that we face is some of us who were not brought up in the corporate language culture. For instance, if our mother tongue is not English and you are working in an English speaking environment, it's always that difficulty that how do you quickly process those thoughts, and if there is a question being asked or if you're having a long conversation on a subject matter, how do you prevent yourself from blanking out? Now, there is one thing is something about technical blanking out, where you're discussing a very deep or you're having a deep conversation and there is a technical subject and your mind blanks out. On the other hand, you want to express your feelings, you express your ideas in a certain way, and instead of speaking out, there is a block. I would like to discuss both kinds of blocks. Number one, if you happen to be in a conversation and you end up with a technical subject where you are stuck, it's quite okay, in my opinion, to stop the conversation and say, looks like we have a lot of technical information that we need to gather. Let's take a 5-minute break, or maybe let's meet again tomorrow when we have all our architectural diagrams as well as the subject matters with us, and we can continue our discussion. I would always urge you not to apologize, not to feel bad. Look, we are living in a world where there is an information overload. It is very natural to get stuck, to forget things, and don't feel bad about it. What is more important is that you be genuine. When you are in project, in fact, most of you, I'm pretty sure you are not in one, maybe 5 or 6 projects going parallel. You have different clients, different stakeholders. So it's very natural that your mind is always preoccupied. You are doing a great job. So don't feel bad about something that slips your mind. It happens to all of us. So be a little forgiving when it comes to technical subject. Now, on the other hand, let's talk about when you want to express ideas or you want to say something and then the right words don't come to your mind. I would like to specifically address this to my friends and families who deal with English as a second language. When we are conversing at home, obviously the language that we use is our mother tongue. But when we are at office in the corporate world, the language is English. So it's like our brain, like that computer processing units, the CPU of a computer is constantly trying to hear the ideas or hear the questions, the conversation, process it, and then translate it back into English. So it's happening without us even realizing that it's happening. So what I did is spend a lot of time or spend every possible time to exercise my brain to make it think naturally. For instance, if I'm going to be in the English speaking environment, I have to train my brain to listen in the accent and listen in the way people speak. So when I came to USA, after a few years, I started listening to the English speaking programs such as National Public Radio. Not the songs, mind you, they are entertaining, but listen to those radio stations where the host and the guests and the news program is in a language which matches the corporate culture. The more you listen to that talk, the more your brain, the ears, starts to get tuned to that kind of speaking. Now, if you are not in USA, where National Public Radio is not available or any good news program is not available, tune into BBC or any other radio station that is local to your place where you live. Listen to something where their conversation is in English. And again, that conversation should match what your corporate world culture is. It's important. The more you start to tune your mind to the listening to the language that is being spoken, the better you become prepared. The second thing about building yourself is reading. I would also recommend that always read for at least half an hour to an hour every day. I did a lot of reading with self-help books, especially the professional development that was influenced by how I felt. So the more books I read, the better I became. My vocabulary naturally increased. But at the same time, I always found opportunities to work with other individuals, to speak in the language. And I had mentors and coaches. Now, not necessarily a full-time coach or a full-time mentor, but if you can find few people, close confidant, who can listen to you, give you specific feedback, and help you improve the accent, improve the language, then it begins to matter. So don't forget, every help you can get is always a valid help. And finally, what I would like to say is, don't feel bad about these incidents of blanking out. Build yourself up. We are very critical about ourselves. We always try to say, man, you should have done something better, or you could have done something better. What I would say is that don't feel bad. Others need to see the talent that I have, that you have, and focus on that. So build yourself up, and that will definitely help. If there is a organization that you can join or a group that you can join where the entire language is, the entire program is run in English, that is excellent opportunity for you. Now, don't invest a lot of time in just looking for some organization that meets every day. Once a week, once or twice a week, which is not necessarily part of your organization, but where you can simply express your ideas. So the more you speak in those meetings, more you converse with other people in the language, which is your corporate language, the better you will become. So in short, the practice you'll have when you speak the language will help you keep improving. So let me go through the steps one more time. Number one, listen to English radio programs where the conversation, the talk is happening in English. Preferably the English that is local to you. So if you are in USA, listen to National Public Radio or affiliate stations like Minnesota Public Radio. If you are in UK or place where British English is common, then listen to BBC. Other places, I would always recommend British Broadcasting Corporation. But it's important. Listen, not just watch programs. Listening is more important. Second is find a coach or a mentor or close confidant who can interact with you on a daily basis or a regular basis and give you some feedback about the language. And finally, it's reading also helps. So the more you read, the more you pick up those vocabularies, the language skills that you need. And the more you read, especially the self-help books, the more confident you'll become. So get on that journey. Oh, I forgot. There are audiobooks available nowadays, and with the world of internet and Audible and so many programs, hey, those are very good too. Sometimes if you don't have time to read, some listening always helps. But all in all, the more you listen, the better you become with your language skills. Hope this was very helpful to you, and If there is anything I can do to help you, please do connect with me. I would love to share my skills, share my ideas, and love to see you succeed.